Hello, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Pokémon Legends of Sinnoh Johto War Campaign. This is more of an informational video, so if you're here to actually watch gameplay, that's not what this is. I'm going to be giving you information about how to play the game, how you should be starting the game, a little bit of house rules I have here and there, and how to download the game and what version you should be getting. So let's start off with the version here. You need to make sure you do not have V099 version 0.99. You want to get the other version that is not listed as a version type in the title. It will just say Johto War Campaign. As release of this video, this is the most up-to-date version of the Johto War Campaign. It is actually on 1.0.1, so if you actually happen to catch this video a lot later, are interested in the game, and you see that the version you're looking at is not 1.0.1, you're probably looking at a further update. Go ahead and add that to your Steam Workshop. Again, you need Tabletop Simulator to play this game. It's a very cheap game. Tabletop Simulator itself is super cheap, so if you're interested in this, it's like $15 right now. You can probably find sales for it elsewhere. Just get Tabletop Simulator and then just go to Create in the Tabletop Simulator main menu, and then you can just go to Multiplayer, load in with your friends, or set it up as a friend-based lobby. You don't want randoms joining your game, of course. Set it up as a friends-only lobby, and then have your friends just come in and join. So when it comes to hosting, I highly recommend, if you're playing with a friend group of at least 3 people, at least pick the person out of your friend group who has the best internet connectivity, because that does matter a lot. This game has a lot of assets, and because there's so many assets, it's going to have problems where the host is going to witness a little bit of lag here and there. So whoever's hosting, hopefully they don't mind the little bit of lag. It's not going to break your gameplay, but it will get annoying from time to time, especially as assets are getting added to the board. So keep that in mind when playing. Once your game is finished loading, it's important to note that if you are the person hosting, you do need to change your seat color in the upper right like I just did. You will then need to choose a seat at the table, and this seat color association is actually highly important for the automation of this board game. There's a lot of things that are automated in it. It makes your life a lot more simple, but you need to go up there and select whatever color you want to be at the table, and that's the piece you need to play with. If you are sitting in the red seat, you need to play with the red piece. So if that does matter a lot to you, make sure you choose the seat that best fits what model you want. Alright, so we will go ahead and start off with the bag, the player bag. As you can see, there are 7 different apricorns listed here. There is a star representing each of the apricorns and their tier and their strength. You have the tier 1s, tier 2s, and tier 3s, which is there's only one tier 3, which is the black apricorn. And that little purple spot right there is journey points. That is pretty much XP. That's a way to evolve your Pokemon. You can spend it as a secondary currency, and obviously you have Pokecoins as well. The gym badges you acquire then can be placed in this badge case. You have a trainer card, which we'll go over more in a second, and then below that is the stamps. You have to complete certain accolades throughout your campaign to get these stamps done, and once those accolades are actually completed, you can then grab the stamp icon, which is on the far left. It looks like a post-it stamp for the Tabletop Simulator game, and you can stamp these out in-game, and once they're stamped out, you can hit that flip over icon, that switch icon there in the bottom right, and flip it over, and you will be able to see your rewards on the back of this card. And if none of those stamp icons made any sense to you, the stamp objectives are right here in the rulebook. You can always go to the rulebook for more information, and from the top left of the stamp objectives to the bottom right is the same way that you would read the stamp card. Complete each of those objectives listed, and that's how you can get your stamps. Moving back over to the player mat, you have your Companion 1 and your Companion 2 companion slots. These companions are pretty much just things that give you small basic passives throughout the game as you fill these slots. You have your mounted Pokemon slot. You can mount almost any Pokemon in the game once you buy a saddle for 3 gold, and they will do HM Surf, Rock Climb, Fly, and Strength. These will add to your mobility on the board. And next, on the very last bit on the far left, we have all the craftable Pokeballs that you can make. Obviously, you can see the apricorns you will need to acquire to make these Pokeballs. They can just be moved around. You'll get these Pokeball tokens to represent obviously how many you have. You can build more than 1 token at a time, but you have to have the apricorns to craft them. Directly below that is a small crafting menu, so that way you can go ahead and see all the hold items you can craft, all the Pokeballs you can craft, and even a few stews, which give you a few board buffs here and there. Obviously, you will need to cycle through that, see what you need to craft at the time, and as long as you have the resources, you can go ahead and craft them. I didn't think I'd need to mention it. It seems a little self-explanatory, but I'll just throw it out here. Obviously, those 6 empty slots in the middle of your board are where your Pokemon are slotted. The locked coin icons in the lower half of the center of your board, that is your PC slots. You can obviously not use your Pokemon in battle that are not in your party. If anyone's familiar with Pokemon, I mean, this is just a standard mechanic. So yeah, that lower half is your PC slots and the upper half is your actual team. There's only one more section we have to go over in terms of the player board, but right now we're going to look at the actual in-game board. I'm going to describe a few things here so that way the next section following up makes a little bit more sense. So to start with, you have your apricorn trees. You can tell that apricorn trees have different colors of apricorns, and below there's a little monster icon. And the monster icon comes in green, blue, and red. That monster icon pretty much dictates what type of Pokemon, which strength of Pokemon you're going to run into whenever you search that tile. Green's weak, blue is medium, and red is hard. And next we have the board tokens. There is a brown question mark token and a golden question mark token. The brown question mark tokens are always going to be apricorns of a random variety. You can get 3 tier 1s, you can get 2 tier 2s. I don't know if there's a black apricot somewhere on the board hidden underneath those, but those never have negative consequences, and because of that, they're always good to step on. The golden tokens, however, are artifacts. These are hold items your Pokemon can get, or things that associate with legendaries later on in your playthrough. And sometimes there's a bad event, which I'm not going to spoil that for you right now. Just keep that in mind that those tokens are normally worth stepping on. Golden tokens are a little bit risky. Next are other interactable tiles. You have cities and towns, and you also have shrines. Most cities and towns have their own special thing that can happen with them. Obviously, you need to heal there, and that's where you get PC access. Shrines, however, let you draw from a shrine card deck that actually alter what you can get from what you put in. You'll have to sacrifice either a tier 1, 2, or 3 apricorn, but once you've done that, you can go draw from the shrine card deck, and then that will give you opportunities to gain special rewards. I placed my model on a red apricot tree icon on the board, and if I hit the search button here, it will generate Pokemon that spawn in this biome from that bush. As you can see, they will drop in here from the Pokedex. This is directly below your player mat. You can click the battle button and it will send them to the battle board near the middle of the actual board, and you can battle them, catch them, do whatever you need to do. But there's also an evolve slot for your Pokedex down here. If you have a Pokemon you wish to evolve, you need to bring them down here in order to evolve them. Obviously paying the journey point cost, which you will see as a purple icon in the bottom right of the card, and that is how you will evolve your Pokemon. Moving over to Pokemon card structure, as you can see here, pretty much all the information you need about the Pokemon card is represented here in the rulebook, is where I have it pulled up. But the things that might not stand out right away to you are the move attack strength section and the learnable moves types. Pokemon in this game particularly can only learn up to 3 moves, and because of that, those learnable move types are very important. You will only be able to learn 3 of those 4 move types. And the move attack strength section is the number of dice you will roll when attacking with the move that you have selected. Obviously, this is a dice rolling game, so if you have more dice to roll for that move, you will do more damage. These cards have automated sections that you can actually interact with the card with. The HP and initiative can be left-clicked or right-clicked to bring the HP stat up or down, and there's a status board above the top of the HP where the HP bar is actually represented on these cards, and you can click to add status conditions like paralysis and confusion. Above the player mat that I'm sitting at, so the red player mat, there are these start button icons that let you change the customizations of your game. Just know if you check all these to on, you will have a harder time loading the game. The best ones that you want to check on are the bird models, and then everything on the right hand column, that's mainly for your battling and then your Pokedex. It's kind of important information for you to have a Pokedex if you're a little bit newer to this, so that way you can find where spawns and moves are. Once your game is properly loaded, make sure you do hit the open on that pop-up menu so that way you can actually have a Pokedex, and you'll be giving legendary quest cards here, which are these golden cards. We got Latios, Cresselia, and Mew. Whenever you get these legendary quest cards, you want to go through and see which one you want to go for. This is normally a mid to late game thing that you'll end up doing, but choose which one works best for you because you only get to keep one, like I said. And then after that, you can go and look at your location cards, which are these red cards here. Your location cards, you'll have to visit these locations to unlock the objectives for your legendary quest cards. So we're going to go ahead and put these other 2 back in the legendary quest deck and put the Mew back in our hand. Next, we have trainer cards. Now, this is where you might want to spend some time and read a lot of these. I'm not going to go through all these trainer cards that I'm placing down on the table here. I did pull one of my favorite trainer cards here, though. The Disaster Devotee. Disaster cards are normally things that get pulled throughout the campaign, and they affect everyone on the board in a negative way. Unless you have this card, sometimes you can make sure it doesn't affect you in a negative way if you're the one drawing the Disaster card. But keep in mind, you technically do not have either of these two passives right now because they are locked. You will be able to unlock your first passive by defeating or capturing a medium tier Pokemon. Once you have done that, you can right click on the card and go to state 2 to upgrade it to its second state, so that way you can then start using the first half of your card. After defeating or capturing a tier 3 Pokemon, you can right click on this card and go to state 3, and state 3 this card will allow you to use both sides of this card simultaneously, bringing you fully online for your trainer card passive. I might have left a few things out here and there, but again, this is a basic information guide on how to get the game going. And on top of that, we're just going to move over to the next section, which is how to officially start your game. After clicking your start game button, on the far right, you'll notice where we picked up the shrine card from earlier, there will be starter Pokemon. Obviously, you go to the starter Pokemon after you've chosen your legendary card and your trainer card. Now, I don't know what the rules say for setting up turn order, but normally me and my friends, we just roll a dice. Whoever gets the highest roll ends up going first on their starter pick. There is a card there in the middle above the Aaron that is your town quest card. We normally go clockwise for the starter pick around the table. The last person to get their starter will then get to choose their town quest first, and then we go counterclockwise in order for who gets to choose their town quest. And then we start the game going in clockwise rotation. This is just how we do it. You don't have to do it in this order. Do whatever works for you, or go ahead and read the rulebook and then follow whatever the rulebook says. Now that you have your starter selected, you will choose your town quest card. Again, we do counterclockwise rotation, so the last player to go will choose their quest card first. This is just a house rule we like to have, giving the player that goes last an opportunity to gain some advantage. The town quest I will be taking here for this example will be Azalea's Craftsmanship town quest. So here we need to get 10 apricorns of any type and offer 2 craftable Pokeballs. Once we have the 2 craftable Pokeballs and offer 10 apricorns of any type, we are then able to complete the town quest. Again, you have to be in the town to turn the town into a city. Once you do that, you can collect your rewards and change the town to state 2, making it an official city. The video is almost over at this point, and if you haven't subscribed and you're looking for more content similar to this, there will be more in the future. We are doing a whole playthrough over this specific board game. Probably about 4 to 5 players. We're going to have a good number of people playing this board game. So if you're looking for similar content to this, subscribe to the channel. Those videos will be released every Friday, coming out every week until the campaign is done. So don't miss it. The last thing we will go over in this video is combat. How different is combat from this to standard Pokemon games? Well, it's pretty similar, honestly. It is a little bit more RNG heavy due to the dice roller mechanic, but that's about it. So we will go step on a red berry bush. We will then come down to our Pokedex, which is below our player mat, hit the search button, and then see our encounter. We saw a fairy type Togepi there, and if we go to the type chart, I have a steel type Aaron. The steel type Aaron beats the fairy type Togepi because we have Metal Claw, and we can hit it with Metal Claw and almost one-shot it guaranteed for super effective damage here. You can also go to this type chart and hit the flip icon down near the middle and go to the defensive type chart and see what your Pokemon are weak against, so that way you can get, a good understanding of your types. If you don't know your types, it is right here for you. Nice little cheat sheet, nice and clean. Despite our matchup with the steel move against the Togepi, I'm going to go ahead and choose Kricketot here. I just see a good opportunity to use Perish Song in a battle against myself to give you guys a good example. And we're going to go ahead and grab our Pokeball, move it out here. It is automated, so you just use it like magnets. And look at that, we get a doubles battle. I'm really happy that it ended up being a doubles battle with the Railor here, because now I can show you how initiative really works in this order. So initiative is directly below your HP bar, and whoever has the highest initiative will go first. Move selection starts with these tokens in the bottom left. You will right click on it and go to state. You can choose switch items. Switching and items obviously take priority over every other move in the game, just like standard Pokemon. There's a big difference here between your choice of A1 and A2. A, B, and C, as you can see, we have 2 empty slots below our Aaron. Those 2 empty slots would be the other 2 moves that we can acquire. So that would be A for the first move, B for the second, C for the third. And then A1 is based on your positioning. So A1 will be the Kricketot, A2 will be the Railor. The token that we normally use for move selection here is normally upside down. You will flip it over at the start of everyone choosing their move, and then initiative is checked, and then once everyone has selected their move, everyone will then go in the turn order based on initiative. We are choosing our only move here, Metal Claw, and Kricketot will be choosing its only move, and Raylor will be choosing its only move, which is Rollout. We have the highest initiative here, so we can change our typing of our move to Steel to see if we get any advantages, and as you can see, Metal Claw here does +1 damage for status symbols. These dice only have 3 numbers on them, 2 for crits, 1 for a standard hit, and then a 0, which is the status symbol for pretty much nothing. Since we rolled a Metal Claw here, our Metal Claw does 3 damage to the Kricketot and hits it for 3. Raylor is next in the turn order, and Raylor would be using Rollout. As you can see, I changed the token here to associate to the proper location here on the board and the proper move. Rollout is a rock move which we resist, and it hits for 1 damage -2, so we actually take 0 damage from the Raylor's attack here. Next up is Kricketot. Kricketot is using the multi-all move, Perish Song here, and Perish Song will increase everyone's battle fatigue up to 5. As you can see here, the battle fatigue die is represented on screen, and as it reads is this dice will increase after each roll. This goes through the automation automatically if you just hit the roll button, and at 5 battle fatigue, you will take 3 damage after each roll. Swapping out does decrease your battle fatigue back down to 0, so if you have multiple Pokemon, it's probably within your best interest to keep swapping them so you can prevent yourself from taking 3 damage each turn. I forgot to do this in the game, but Kricketot's attack roll here is a multi-all hitting move. I'm supposed to roll the dice at a normal rate, and it's supposed to hit for 1 or 2 or maybe a status, and that's also supposed to hit the Raylor here. The only reason I didn't do this is because Aaron is a steel rock type. He gets a -4 to normal type moves. There's no way that Kricketot can even do 1 dice of damage and hit my Aaron. So I decided just to negate that damage and not do it. In hindsight, Raylor should have been hit. It is the top of the next round, and we are going with a Metal Claw against the Raylor. We take our 3 damage from fatigue here, and because Metal Claw does get a bonus 1 damage on status conditions, we roll for 2. Raylor is actually hit for 3. Up next on the second round is Raylor, and he is going for another Rollout. Rollout reads that it gives a +1 extra dice for each time the move is used, so he rolls for 4 dice here. Rollout is a rock type move against my steel type Aaron. It does -2 damage. He rolls pretty good here and hits for 4, bringing me down to 1 HP, and because his battle fatigue is at 5, Raylor only has 2 HP left and faints. You can hit this discard and return button on the left hand side of the card, as you can see here. Hitting the discard button will send it to the Pokemon discard pile. And lastly is the Kricketot again to use Perish Song. Again, it does -4 damage for this 1 dice roll move. It can't really do anything, so it just kills itself with battle fatigue and goes straight to the discard pile. Once you defeat the Pokemon in the wild encounter, you then get Apricorns and Journey Points. The Apricorns are associated with whichever Apricorn tile you were standing on. I'm standing on a red at this time, and you get Journey Points for each of the Pokemon defeated. We just defeated 2 weak Pokemon. You would normally get 1 Journey Point for capturing them, but if you defeat them, you get 2 extra bonus Journey Points for defeating them. We defeated 2 Pokemon on this one tile, therefore we get 6 Journey Points, and we get 6 red Apricorns. In the encounter we had, I couldn't really show it off here, but I'll show it off in this clip. So you can set the weather conditions and terrain conditions on the board. As you can see here, I activated Harsh Sunlight and I set it to rainy. You can put up Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rock on the opponent's side of the field. You will need to enable this at the beginning of your game if you want to have it graphically represented here in the middle of your game. There's also that golden token over here on the side. This is your speed tie token. Whoever initiates the battle ends up starting with this token, so if at any point in time there is an initiative speed tie, that person will then use the token, flip it to the other side of the board, and give the other player the opportunity to go first. Really quick, I'm going to go over a few house rules that might enhance your gameplay. Feel free to use these house rules if you want. We only do this to make the game a little bit more fun and balanced as a friend group. First house rule that we normally implement is for each player sitting at the table, we will draw one of the trainer cards off the top of the deck and just place it somewhere on the table. Anyone playing at the table at this given time at the start of a game can choose from one of these open sourced trainer cards. This just gives some versatility to what you can and can't pick, and that's just because sometimes your 5 cards that you draw at the start of the game can be a little rough. Sometimes you didn't get what you were looking for. You got pretty much a weak card, and this gives you more opportunities to play. We're just here to play for fun anyways, and that's the key element of this rule. And this will be the final house rule I share with you guys. You're normally not allowed to craft on other players' turns. You can only craft on your turn. We have it where you can craft on anybody's turn, and that's only because it speeds speeds up gameplay. Spending all the time figuring out what you want to craft, trying to remember what you want to craft in the mid game to the late game, whenever it does end up being your turn, is normally a little confusing and it takes a lot of time to get there. So we just allow anyone to craft at any given time. As long as it doesn't interfere with their upcoming turn, you can craft on other people's turns. I find this really speeds up the gameplay and there's a nice flow with it. Thank you all again for watching this video, and if you did find it informative, at least a little bit, give me a like, let me know I did a good job here. I did spend a lot of time on this video. It's one of my shorter videos, and I tried cram packing all the information I could into this, so that way you could boot up this game with your friends and actually have a good time. Me and my friends will be doing our own campaign at some point. I will be releasing the videos every Friday, coming this next Friday, not the Friday that this video is released, but the following Friday. Every single Friday these videos are going to get released. If you don't want to miss out on that, you just got to subscribe. There might be days where I release it a day late. I'm sorry, I actually have a full-time job. I'm a little busy here and there, but if you are subscribed, that'll be a surefire way that you get to see these videos as they come out. Thank you all for tuning into the video, and I will catch you next time. Peace.